Every company needs money and investment to grow, and doing so is quite easy for large companies because there is no dearth of people who trust them and lend money to them. But how small companies and startups gain money and investment is quite challenging for them. But there is someone to help them who has been proving to be very valuable and helpful and is still doing so. In fact, today it has become a common concept which has become very easy for everyone to adopt. This concept is of crowdfunding, which you must have heard many times and seeing how famous it has become today. You might also think that this is a new concept, but no, crowdfunding has been going on since many centuries and today it has become very famous due to online platforms. So in such a situation it will be very fruitful for you to know what is this crowdfunding, how does it help businesses, are there any drawbacks along with its benefits, and are there different types of crowdfunding. So all this is crowdfunding. To know about this, watch this video completely in your own YouTube too. Where funds were raised from a small group to run a project and business, today money can be raised from a large group of people through crowdfunding. Social media and crowdfunding websites have played a very important role in this, which have connected investors and entrepreneurs to a large group of investors. The most special thing about crowdfunding is that in this, investors can contribute from very small amounts to very large amounts, and through this money can be raised for many different purposes, like to start a business, to develop a new product, to help a needy, or to support a social cause. Through crowdfunding, startups and businesses not only get funds but also get many other benefits like market validation, because when your business idea is presented in front of the public for fundraising, it becomes easy to find out on the basis of people's interest in it. What is the future of such an idea and what is the demand for that product or service? This also helps in audience building and creating awareness for your project as well as creating awareness about your product or service. Feedback is also received before the official launch, which proves to be very helpful in improvement. Successful crowdfunding campaigns can also become an effective tool of publicity and marketing, and through this it becomes easy to reach potential partners of the industry and other funding sources. This also increases the chances of future investment opportunities, and crowdfunding platforms are used to raise this fund, which charge a fee for their service, which is often a percentage of the raised fund. Crowdfunding can be of many different types, and you should know about its four main types: reward-based crowdfunding, equity-based crowdfunding, debt-based crowdfunding, and donation-based crowdfunding. Let's know about them. Number 1, reward-based crowdfunding. This model is often used by startups to launch their new product or service, for the development of which they need funds. In this type of crowdfunding, people who give funds to the startup are given rewards in return, which often the startup has a product or service. Kickstarter and Ego are famous reward-based crowdfunding platforms to use this type of crowdfunding. In this crowdfunding, one does not have to share in the ownership of the company, only rewards have to be given, so this is a plus point of this type. It is also a very good way to know the market interest about your product and service. At the same time, its minus point can be that if the startup is not successful in giving rewards, then its reputation can be damaged and supporters can also ask for their funds back. Number 2, equity-based crowdfunding. In this type of crowdfunding, the company gives its investors shares of the company in exchange for investment. Startups with high growth potential use this model because a large amount of funds can be raised by giving shares of your company. Seed Invest and Circle UP are equity-based crowdfunding platforms to use this type of crowdfunding. The plus point of this type is that investors prefer to give more amount due to getting equity. This helps investors and the company. Long-term relationships are also formed between them, whereas the minus point of this type of crowdfunding is that offering equity in the company means giving a portion of your ownership to the investors, in which somewhere or the other the control and decision-making of the company has to be shared. The laws and regulations related to this also remain quite complicated. Number 3, debt-based crowdfunding. It is also called peer-to-peer lending, i.e., P2P lending. It is like a traditional loan. The difference is that instead of taking a loan from the bank, the loan is taken from the crowd of investors. In this, the startup agrees that it will return the loan with interest in a specific time period. Lending Club and Prosper are similar crowdfunding platforms. The plus point of this crowdfunding is that unlike equity crowdfunding, there is no need to give equity in it. The responsibility towards the investors is completed as soon as the loan is paid. This type of loan is available quickly in comparison to the traditional loan method, but its minus point is that in this, interest also has to be paid along with the loan. Number 4. Donation-based crowdfunding. This type of crowdfunding model is used by such non-profit organizations which do charitable work for community benefit. In this, donors do not expect any financial return, but there is faith in that welfare project that it will help the society and donors will feel good by contributing to it. GoFundMe is a similar donation-based crowdfunding platform. Its biggest plus point is that it is done for social cost and other benefits are that there is no repayment or equity exchange in it. It also builds a community of supporters who are sensible for social causes. While the minus point of this crowdfunding type can be that sometimes it may happen that its appeal can reach only a limited audience, due to which it gets less success. So after knowing these 4 major crowdfunding types, you also know which important points should always be kept in mind before using any type of crowdfunding. So first of all, the crowdfunding type should be chosen according to the nature of your business or project so that its chances of being successful can be high, such as new product or service. If you want to launch something, then choose reward-based crowdfunding. If you want to raise a large amount by giving equity, then equity-based crowdfunding is the best. If you have the confidence to repay the loan, then debt-based crowdfunding will be the right choice. And if there is a strong social mission, then donation-based crowdfunding will be a good choice for it. Apart from the nature of the business, it is also important to select the crowdfunding type according to the financial needs because equity and debt-based crowdfunding options can prove to be right for large amounts and reward and donation-based crowdfunding for small amounts. Market validation is also very important for business, so if there is a need to test your product or service in the market, then reward-based crowdfunding should be used so that both customer feedback and validation can be obtained. It is also important to take a decision keeping in mind the ownership of your business because if you want to keep the entire ownership of your company with yourself, then instead of equity-based crowdfunding, one can choose from reward crowdfunding and debt-based crowdfunding. It is also important to check the ability to fulfill the promise. Reward-based crowdfunding should be chosen only if the rewards can be produced and delivered on time. Similarly, if debt-based crowdfunding should be applied only if the loan can be repaid on time and if such a large number of equity holders can be easily managed, then only the option of equity-based crowdfunding should be chosen. It is also very important to keep in mind the legal requirements, so only that crowdfunding whose legal requirements can be fulfilled can be used. It is important to take action by keeping in mind the legal and regulatory requirements of equity-based and debt-based crowdfunding in great complexity in comparison to reward-based crowdfunding, and in this way by considering all these major points you can understand which crowdfunding type will be suitable for you to apply so that you can get success in it, and in this way now you have come to know what is crowdfunding, what are its different types and what things should be kept in mind while choosing the best crowdfunding type for your business. So how did you like this information? Please tell us in the comment section what do you have to say about this. Plus, you can also share your advice or your experience with us. If you have liked this video, please share this video with as many people as possible so that this information reaches them so that they know that this is so if anything happens. Such help can be taken, and along with this, you have been associated with Quick Support for a long time. Thank you so much for that. But if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, then please do so that you always get such information. So subscribe to the Wade Wish channel and press the bell icon. I, Ruby Parikh, will meet you soon. Until then, always keep yourself updated, keep growing. Thank you.